Chile, Tzu Chi volunteers distributed epidemic prevention materials in Cobquecura, helping 200 families. We take a look at the story of a mother and her kids who suffer from mental disability but still cares for each other. Selamat datang ke DaAi Headlines, saya Simon Gan. Terima kasih menyertai sesi berita kita. In Chile, due to the pandemic, Tzu Chi volunteers drove 437 kilometers to Cobquecura, where Tzu Chi has assisted in the earthquake back in 2010 to distribute pandemic prevention materials, helping 200 families.
It is 12:05 and we're leaving from San Diego. It is estimated it will take about 7 or 8 hours to arrive at Cobquecura. The supplies in our car are about 5,660 kilograms.
This is the 34th time that Chile volunteers hold the distribution. It was a long journey and had a very different mood. 10 years ago, there was a strong earthquake in Chile. Cobquecura was the epicenter. Tzu Chi distributes supplies to the thousands of people affected by the disaster. The situation has changed, and the scenery along the way is still familiar. Their joy and enthusiasm can be felt when the volunteers get off the car.
You can see that people from the city government are helping us unload the goods. Today we're going to distribute supplies to more than 200 households.
All staff from city government also came to assist. The 200 households were divided into 4 sections, and the pandemic prevention guidelines were followed throughout. The mayor and the city councillors also attend the event.
Tzu Chi Foundation has no resources and no profit. The spirit they put in is worth learning from Chileans, as well as residents of Cobquecura.
There are 8 kinds of the materials given, including rice, oil, flour, sugar, and other foods. It's hoped that can make the residents feel the warmth during the winter.
As winter arrives in Hebei, China, the temperature has dropped drastically. Tzu Chi volunteers from 6 areas have prepared living supplies and blankets. They divided into 3 teams to deliver these supplies to more than 700 residents in need.
At 5 o'clock in the morning, despite the freezing temperature, volunteers have taken off. They drive on the bumpy, winding, mountainous roads to carry out their promise to people. As the volunteers come visit, seniors in the village rush to meet them. Volunteers deliver rice, multi-grain powder, daily supplies, and blankets to families in need, bringing much warmth.
We have brought them warmth. In fact, what makes us happy? Bringing happiness to other people, that makes us really happy.
I'm grateful to the master. Thank you all for bringing them warmth.
Solitary senior Du Guangjun sees that so many people have come to help out, and he could not hold back his tears.
Our last name is Tze Chi. Seeing us wearing this uniform, in the future, when you see people wearing white caps and this uniform, you know Tzu Chi volunteers have come.
131 volunteers from 6 areas have completed the distribution. Besides villages, they also go to a hospital to encourage more than 60 uremia patients.
They also gave us supplies last year. They are mindful. Look at this, it's very warm. These gifts are practical for our families.
While the supplies are limited, volunteers' love is boundless. The volunteers have brought love and warmth to families in need.
In Penang, Malaysia, a babysitter, Kueh Beng Ki, has been sewing protective gowns for medical personnel. Since it's her first time sewing protective gowns, she faced a lot of challenges. Fortunately, her family has given her full support, so she can focus on the work.
Professional babysitter Cobquecura helps Tze Chi sew protective gowns during her spare time. As it is her first time making protective gowns, every step is a challenge.
Tzu Chi's sister has given me 100 pieces of protective gown materials. I use the morning before children come and sew some of them. The line around the collar is very thin, so I need to strain my eyes. Sewing at night is tiring. I follow the video and do the work.
Although she faced many challenges, she's not alone as her family has supported her.
As I sew the protective gowns, they do the household chores. They take the initiative and complete the work. I just focus on sewing.
Making protective gowns allows community residents to help the frontline medical personnel. They carry out the work hoping that the pandemic may end soon.
In Malaysia, an 8-year-old girl, Tan Che Lin, is a DaAi kindergarten alumni and has cultivated a compassionate heart. In the past 4 years, she has inspired her family to donate into the bamboo coin bank. Let's take a look at the story.
During the household chores with a rag, this is what Tan Che Lin and her younger brother promised to do during weekends.
I will go there to hang out the clothes and turn off the washing machine because it keeps beeping.
I can get 0.5 ringgits if I finish one household chore. I will donate half of the money to the impoverished and the other half I will use to buy necessary items.
4 years ago, Tan Che Lin was studying in the Tzu Chi DaAi kindergarten. She often saw the international disaster relief promotional video on the screen, which touched her a lot. So she influenced her family to make donation to Bamboo Coin Bank until now.
Because the impoverished people are living a very hard life, so I donated to the Bamboo Coin Bank, hoping to help them more.
I saw my sister make donation, so I did the same, hoping to help the disaster survivors.
It is very good for the teachers to inspire children's love. It is even more meaningful if I do it with her together. Today you have completed 2 household chores. Thank you very much.
With the kind thoughts to help others, Tze Lin practices it in her daily life. She insists on not wasting food and is willing to share the good thoughts with her classmates.
After I talk to them, if they still don't understand, I will chat with them again, because I hope everyone can do it with me to help more impoverished people.
She used to be a domineering child. Now she can relatively understand the suffering of others.
A little wish starts the cycle of love, while a kind thought gathers more power to help others.
Due to the pandemic, Tze Chi Academy in New York has utilized online schooling to teach Chinese, but this caused a registration decrease of 5 to 10%. Although teachers and students face challenges, but parents insisted on Chinese education, as it is a precious chance for children to learn and understand their mother tongue.
老师会有字给你看，等我一下啊，你们先去拿。
Using a computer, iPad, and a phone to pick up parents' calls, without language interaction and face-to-face practices, the shift to online schooling brings a new challenge to teachers teaching Chinese.
还有谁？线上上课最大的困难点就是
The hardest thing about online school is that we cannot track if the children really understood the topic. So while streaming, we have to tag them, letting them know when to reply to our questions.
主播那个直播一样，常常就是 tag 他们，然后请他们回个讯息给我这样子。作者、记者，很好。有人一条线了吗？诗玉 bingo 了 ，OK， 我看到了。
Although the teaching methods have changed, but Tzu Chi's serious attitude towards education remains the same. During online classes, the academy still requires a mood like a physical classroom.
跟以前一样，第一个制服。
Like before, we must wear a school's uniform, including volunteers. The cameras must be on. And the purpose of this is for our teachers to see students so that we may care and learn at the same time.
目的是要互相关怀，互相学习。
Due to the ongoing pandemic, 3 Tzu Chi academies in New York continue online classes. As a result, there's a registration drop of 5 to 10%. The reason behind this is because of a worry regarding learning quality or a lack of supervision. At the Tzu Chi Academy in Brooklyn, most students and teachers are new immigrants from Fuzhou, China. Living in poor conditions, the students have a hard time attending online classes.
Many families rent the same house and each family uses a room. So when it comes to online classes, if a family has multiple children, it's hard for them to attend classes.
Although facing challenges, the new immigrant parents insist on continuing Chinese education because this is a language of communication and a media to teach them traditional virtues.
Once Pupa learns English and doesn't use Chinese, he will naturally forget the Chinese language. So we must reinforce Chinese education, and this is why I like Tzu Chi. They teach humanitarian values to our children, like being filial to parents.
In order to close the distance between teachers and students, the teachers from the Tze Chi Academy in Brooklyn sometimes uses Fuzhou dialect in order to help students understand Chinese. The course also teaches culture and tradition.
When they hear the teachers use their own dialect, they feel surprised, therefore the teacher holds their attention. This not only helps them stabilize their own language, but it also allows them to understand what the dialect of the word is, increasing their overall understanding on a word.
Although learning the Chinese language is affected by the pandemic, but this also inspired teachers to innovate new teaching methods. It also reduced paper usage. In tough times, students are challenged to self-motivate in learning a language.
Congenital disabilities such as Down syndrome, fragile X chromosome, and autism can be passed down to the next generation. Therefore, some families may have multiple members suffering from the same disability, which can cause their family's financial to crumble. Today, we take a look at such a family and how they struggle to survive.
Ajin loves short hair and also likes to wear short skirts and wear clothing for young people. She's actually a severely mentally disabled person. Before coming here, she lived on the streets with her 2 children.
Her husband earned money for the family, and after he passed away, she, along with her 2 children, were completely incapable of taking care of themselves. They foraged for food waste to survive.
6天哦。
Ajin's genes were unfortunately passed on to her children. After the death of her husband, this mother and her children were unable to take care of themselves and had no meals. Fortunately, they were discovered by the Chen Sanmei Foundation staff and properly placed in a home. After receiving the special card, Ajin now shows that she is a model member of this community. On the day of the interview, she took us to visit her room.
The dormitory is for 2 people, and they have their own wardrobes and there are lockers under the bed.
老师送你的，跟你讲。
Putting on her favorite hairpin, Ajin, who lives in this institution, happily goes to the place where her 2 children were placed.
Some people feel that it seems that people with disabilities have less sense of family affection, but I don't think this is so. Ajin is very happy to see her children and wants to care about them.
The emotions of people with mental disabilities are like ordinary people, such as joy, sorrows, and yearning for family support. These individuals simply have trouble expressing such emotion. This is especially true when multiple people in a family suffer from such problems, making it even more difficult to communicate with each other. A study found that a person with mental disability has a 45% chance that his brothers and sisters have the same illness. Once they get married and have children, the chances of their children having such problems is 12%. A family with a handicapped member may not only lack people to take care of such an individual, but also may lose the ability to earn a living, so it is vitally important to teach them a job skill.
Hello. ，
Filling up this tank with gas and taking a credit card for payment and giving change and writing tax numbers are all managed by her daughter, Xiao Xuan. She has been a regular employee at the gas station for 13 years.
The biggest change we gave her after coming here is giving her the ability to make a living. This is difficult because sometimes when they come, sometimes they don't even take care of themselves.
From the beginning, she really didn't know one coin for another, but after some intensive coaching, she gradually made progress.
Once, when Aden's child was injured because of work, she was very anxious and wanted us to take her for a visit. She really couldn't eat and sleep during those few days.
Mothers and daughters are connected by nature. This is true even despite their mental disabilities, as his daughter reciprocates her love by being filial.
Because her mother is in another institution, whenever she misses her mother, she will take the initiative to find her social worker and tell them to take her to visit her mother on a day off.
Where her mother's institution has activities at the institution, we'll also bring the children over to participate. We also bring the mother here to participate in our activities.
While this mother and her children live in different institutions, they maintain the bonds of family members, as the image of this family is one of the most beautiful scenes in the country.
In Taoyuan, Tzu Chi volunteers have held family classes for new immigrants since July. Recently, the classes have ended and volunteers arranged for a gathering for everyone to share their dishes. Take a look.
新住民这个课程也很不错，就是可以带动我们一些姐妹啊，可以融入台湾。
After completing half a year of classes, Taoyuan Family Class for New Immigrants is holding its year-end activity. Everyone has brought their best dishes.
Usually, sisters cook for us. Today, I have also cooked some food for everyone to share.
Chen Ailing, who's from the Philippines, has been living in Taiwan for 20 years. However, she still has difficulties adjusting to local life, so her husband has come to class with her. After several months, their cooking skills have improved a lot.
Because we only know a little Chinese, the class has taught us to cook and learn Chinese. I enjoy learning. I learn slowly.
Her religious belief is different from ours. She wants to learn everything as they are new to her, so she wants to join the family class for new immigrants.
In the monthly class, students learn arts and skills as well as humanities. Many volunteers have also benefited from the experience.
Coming here, everyone is like the family. They are happy to learn and grow together. I have also learned with them. Next year, I will continue to accompany these family members.
Through participating in the family class for new immigrants, these immigrants can find happiness and friends in their second home, Taiwan.
Under the epidemic, many Tzu Chi activities have turned into online events. The same goes for the volunteers in Yonghe District, New Taipei City. Through the online reading group, Tzu Chi volunteers continue the Buddhism cultivation, gathering the power of love.
A coffee table, 2 laptops, plus the volunteers' mobile phones. This is the setting of the reading group. Affected by the epidemic, Yonghe Tzu Chi volunteers changed the reading group to an online format.
It may be too late for someone who go to work. Or some Tzu Chi volunteers with poor eyesight may not want to go out at night. Some sisters may be sick, and it's not convenient for them to go out. So I think if we can host an online reading group, many sisters can join it at home.
Although it is called an online reading group, a place is still needed to guide reading. Volunteer Zhang Zhen lends out her living room to guide reading.
It won't cause me any troubles. I like it. I can offer my home and people do not need to come. I think this is a very convenient.
This day, the person to share on the reading group was a documenting volunteer Yan Su-yun. Recently, she suffered from the rhinitis optica again and has a lot of feelings.
I'm so grateful that since I got sick this time, Many people come to care for me and help me, whether they have a close relationship with me or not. Because of my sickness, all these people are connected together. You know, if all bits or pieces are gathered together, the power of love will be very great.
Through the online reading group, Tzu Chi volunteers encourage each other and also get the power of love.
In Taichung, a spinal cord injury patient, Jiang Yongxu, has been in bed for more than 10 years. With the continuous care from the medical team of Taichung Tze Chi Hospital, he overcame his difficulties and joined the community volunteer training this year. Take a look.
The Dharma master from the Jingsa abode delivers a red envelope of wisdom and blessings to Jiang Yongxu, which he never expected to receive.
Be brave and rush forward. Don't surrender to fate. If you give up, you won't have another chance.
The biggest challenge in his life was being bedridden for more than 10 years as the Taichung Tze Chi Hospital team continued to care and accompany him. This eventually led to his rebirth. His incredible life journey has been inspiring.
Brother Yongxi is very brave. He inspired me to care for my sick brother and give him more encouragement.
39-year-old Jiang Yongxu joined the Tze Chi community volunteer training this year.
Maybe he feels that he has already suffered, and speaking of his experience can be very enlightening. We encourage him, and it's possible to train him. Those who suffered from illness before have more persuasive power than us.
After the training, I will begin to think calmly and do not get agitated easily anymore.
Always grateful for the company of volunteers, he has grown up and now hopes to bring the power of kindness to more people.
Modern people's life is full of 3C products. Long-term use of the eyes may cause eye fatigue. There are various eyeball exercises to relax the eyes. However, some articles point out that doing eyeball exercises is unnecessary and may even cause retinal detachment. Is this true? Follow a report as we learn more.
Browsing computer for a long time is prone to eye soreness. Some people relieve their eyes by doing eyeball exercise.
When I arrive at home, I massage the eye sockets and brow bones like this.
I will place it here, which is more comfortable.
There are rumors on the internet that doing eyeball exercise is unnecessary and will increase the risk of retinal detachment. Is this true?
Like moving the eyeballs or looking far and near, these movements, when doing slowly but not vigorously, are relatively safe. There's a kind of eyeball exercise that people should never do, like pressing eyeballs.
If the pressure is improperly applied, it may cause retinal detachment. There are 3 types of people who are at high risk, and it is best to avoid doing eyeball exercise.
For patients with high myopia, his retina is relatively thin. These people are prone to retinal tear or even detachment. It is also easy for the elders and patients with an outside wounds to have retinal detachment.
Appropriate eyeball rotation can relax the ciliary muscles and extrinsic muscles to achieve a soothing and relaxing effect, but people still need to evaluate their own health condition and do it slowly.
Tzu Chi New Zealand chapter held the New Shoot Scholarships Award ceremony recently with a total of 71 students receiving the awards. We'll leave you with these images. Thank you and goodbye.